My next guest is just as interesting, and his topic is just as important. Pregnancy is not a disease. So why do so many mothers and babies die trying to give and gain life? In our sub-Saharan part of the world, a baby dies every 23 minutes or so, and out of 100,000 births, well, nearly 400 women are going to die. Why? More importantly, what are we doing about this? Education, advocacy. This is an important initiative, the Maternal Health Channel. Its executive producer is my next guest, Dr. Kwesi Owusu of Creative Storm. So stay with Sunrise, stay with me, and let me keep those posts encouraged on our page. It's TV3 Sunrise. Just find us, TV3 space Sunrise. Click the like button and share your thoughts, comments, and feelings with me and with our guests. Abdul Osman say we need planners. You mean better planners to plan on our future? Wasting the gas from the oil we're drilling, and now ECG needs a fuel to start the turbine. Ghana, when? And when will we mature in technology and proper planning? And Umar Farouk Mola, you think, you believe I was discouraged from being a news presenter? Have you been talking to my producer? Well, I'm looking forward to my next guest, and I've got a surprise coming up for you, and that's not Manifest. Well, Manifest success is no surprise. I've got a real big surprise. So keep watching Sunrise. I'll be right back. Now that looked good, didn't it? It looked so exciting. You know, you wanted to see more. That's the trailer, one of the little clips that I can share with you about the Maternal Health Channel. The man with the idea to put this all together and how to do it is sitting in the couch next to me. His name is Dr. Kwesi Owusu. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise. Good morning. How are you feeling this morning?
Very well. I'm
very well.
To be here, yeah.
How's your? I mean, how in touch are you with your feminine side?
My feminine side is explorative at this point.
You're exploring it. The reason I'm asking you this is because I'm wondering why I'm talking to Dr. Kwesi Owusu, not Dr. Kwesi Owusu. In other words, why is it that it's two men who are discussing the Maternal Health Channel television series rather than, say, a man and a woman or two women? I know we are part and parcel of, you know, the process of pregnancy, and you know we can't remove ourselves from it. What is the role of men in this, other than talking?
Of course, it takes two to make a baby, and I think that the role of men has not been stressed enough in these cases. And I think our traditional concept is, a woman gets pregnant and it's the aunties and the sisters who look after her. In fact, in many homes, fathers are not even allowed to see the birth of their babies. I think the world is changing now, and men really have to be engaged in this area. So I hope I'm not an anomaly in this case, and I hope I'm reminding everyone about a key and critical role men can play, in pregnancy and childbirth. We will certainly have a problem here.
We do have a problem.
Yeah.
In sub-Saharan West Africa, a baby dies every 23 minutes. And out of 100,000 live births in Ghana, I believe nearly 400 women do not survive. This, puts a big question mark as to what happens to the children that might survive, the infants, and to their families, men like yourself and myself. Is this International Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics Award, and you're going to be talking to her. She delivers about 8,000 babies a year.
She works at the Tema General Hospital, which is one of the most busiest hospitals, and they deliver 8,000, as you say. But when you look at the facilities, so it really needs angels like her to really put in the dedication and the professional expertise. So the series is also about essentially celebrating excellence within our institutions. We also have a wonderful profile on Professor Sai, who is internationally renowned, actually called the grandfather of maternal health. And he had some interesting things to say, for example, about family planning. I mean, he candidly said, Ghana, we are not serious about family planning. We pontificate a lot about abortions and so on, and, get on our high horse, but family planning, which is accepted the world over in terms of its education and its application, can really reduce the level of abortions. It's not taken very seriously in this country. The uptake of it is very, very low compared to other countries. What kind of sexual education do we give our children at school? we shun away from this, we shun away from that, and it is not helping us, because the number of women who are dying from illegal abortions is ridiculous. We saw the case of Dr. Dra in Medina. That is the only way such people can operate and function. Because if you have a society that is healthy, that sees sexual reproductive health education as important, you are bound to have a check on the deaths that occur from these tragedies.
I see that you've also engaged Queen Mothers, traditional authorities, in your dialogue. Do you think that that is one of the key initiatives or interventions that can help swing the balance in favor of live childbirths and healthy motherhood and sexual and reproduction rights being taught to our girls and boys at an early enough stage of their development?
I think Queen Mothers are very important in our society. I mean, they reflect and they symbolize a pivotal role women play in our society. And I think that they themselves have had a maternal health program over the last few years, because they see the importance of it. You know, they live with the women in the communities and so on. I just hope that it's not simply the Queen Mothers who are engaged on these issues, but you know, all our chiefs up and down the country. We actually filmed a very fascinating story from the Volta region. It's a village where you are not allowed to give birth.
Say that again?
There's a village called Dove in the Volta region, and you are not allowed to give birth. When you
say that you are not allowed to give birth, what does that mean?
Once you get pregnant, you have to leave the village and go and have your baby somewhere else. And come back.
Well, I would love to see what the village looks like, but if it looks anything
we have a
like
story on that, and that's
like this, the trauma and specialist hospital, I'm sure that's good news. Unfortunately, that's not what everything looks like. We also have pictures such as these, and traveling from place to place in the course of filming the series.
Well, you mentioned the trauma hospital as good news. We spoke to them, and it's not all good news, because I mean, they have a state-of-the-art equipment in that place. You know, you have an x-ray, you don't need to go and sit anywhere. The doctor presses a button and your x-ray is right in front of him. You know, you have oxygen basically being pumped into the theater without any tank. I mean, that's a state of the art. But do they have the personnel to run it?
Do they have blood in their blood bank?
Well, that's a good question, which we asked as well, and that'll be revealed. So essentially, there's so many factors which go into making an efficient health service, and we all have to be, you know, health is a citizen's right. A lot of the time, a lot of Ghanaians think, oh, health is the prerogative of a doctor. It's a doctor who tells me whether I should live or die, whether I'm sick or not. You go, they scribble something you can't even read. If you can't read it well, your auntie says, oh, go to the chemist and buy your tablets and you'll be okay. We really have to have real consciousness on taking charge of our health, especially the health of our women, because without them there can't be any future generations.
Thank you. Dr. Kwesi Owusu is the executive producer of the Maternal Health channel, and it's a TV series. It's going to premiere on TV3 and GTV starting the day after tomorrow. And the first story is about a lady whose name is Charity. She was a very popular local woman from Keta, and she died in the process of giving birth delivery. Now, the question of why so many Ghanaian women die from giving birth as if pregnancy were a disease, and a deadly disease as that, is best answered by you, the viewer, who is going to be watching. She developed severe complications, and she made a dramatic journey from Nigeria back to her hometown. Unfortunately, she died at the Keta Municipal Hospital. The studio discussion will feature Madam Lucy Amegbo. She is the mother who lost her daughter after a prolonged and traumatic delivery. Professor Fred Binker, Vice Chancellor, University of Health and Allied Sciences, and Dr. Joseph Nwete, Volta Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, along with Madam Lucy Amegbo, a housewife from Anloga in the Volta region, will be moderated by Dr. Note Dua in a discussion as to why this occurred, how it occurred, and most importantly, what we can do to prevent this from occurring ever again in the future. Once again, Dr. Kwesi Owusu, thank you very much for sharing your time and your talent with me and with our women. I hope that next time we're going to have more female directors. I hope you're mentoring some ladies.
I'm actually a doctor of letters, and sometimes I think I should really have been a doctor of medicine, because I guess I could be of more help to people. When I go to villages and someone calls me doctor, sooner or later there's a queue of especially women and children. Doc, doc, and what do I do?
What do you do?
Prescribe paracetamol.
You prescribe paracetamol?
That's not good enough.
That's not good enough. I think we should do better than that.
Thank you.
Hakim Ibrahim Asamoah. Now, you write, and you say that you think that women will continue to die if we in Ghana keep moving backwards. It's traditional ways of living, bad governance, bad roads, poor medical facilities are all not taken sufficiently, if I may add, into consideration. Umar Farouk Mono, you write that you hope that by the end of this program we achieve our aims, or some of them. And Annie Ablodipe writes, it is better to deliver at a nearby hospital, well, if you can get to it and if one is there. Abdul Ghani Osman, you say that you guess complication on birth has now been reduced in Ghana. Gone when the days when the whole family cries when a mother is in labor. You thank God that at least that has reduced now. Long live our mothers. And you want me to please tell your mama how much you love her. Her name is Sapti, inside Dagomba line, Wenchi in the Brong Ahafo region. From Mr. Pinocchio of Tohaba Hardwares in Wenchi. I want to thank everyone who's joined me so far.